Hi guys, I'm Tracy and thank you for joining me today. So in today's video, I wanted to put together, I guess a demo showing you guys some brushes that, in my opinion, are still reasonably priced. Now I know reasonably priced is a subjective term, but this is just brushes that I think are still worth getting and that I think going forward will become a lot more expensive. So a lot of brands have announced they're going to increase their rates shortly. And with this this video, I'm going to include as many of the Houkodou brushes that I have, and they're increasing their rates June 1st, so just in a few days, and a couple of other brands, and a lot of these brushes are new, so this is kind of like a haul video. I wanted to do something a little differently. Also, I'm still a little sick, that's why I'm having a harder time talking. I'm a little red, but nothing a little makeup can't fix. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm not going to talk while I'm using the brushes, and then at the end of the demo I'll go over the brushes in more detail. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the brushes that I used today. So I actually filmed this section and I was getting so many of the brush names wrong. So I took a break and I went ahead and I labeled them all so that I won't, be fumbling with the names. So some of you have asked how I do that. I just use a label maker and then I put the label here. For some of them, I put the material name, if I could remember. Like this one, it's BES1, K means Kolinsky. I didn't get to do that with all of them, but so going forward, I should have all of the brush names correct. Okay, so let's start out with the first brush, and I did my foundation with the Muragishi Sangyo foundation brush. Now the main reason I got this is because it kind of completes the set that I have of this My Sakura brush line, and it's okay. It's not like, I wouldn't say like go out and run and buy this, but it's still a solid brush and it's a fairly reasonably priced, and it is a beautiful brush. but I wouldn't say this, you know, surpasses other foundation brushes that I have in my collection, but it's still a solid brush. You're getting a handmade brush for, I believe, like about the 30-ish dollar range. And then the next one I used is the Hakuhodo H1 highlighting brush. Now I've had this for a while, and what makes this unique is the shape. So because it's so tapered, it gets kind of like covers this area pretty well. You know, it gets close to the lash line. So, and this is horse and squirrel hair, so it's got a lot of snap. And it's good. I would say probably better for under eye powdering, but I did my highlighter with this as well, and it does a really good job at that. Not like a super strong application, about a medium application. And I do think this is a solid brush, and I believe price wise still you know, fairly reasonable. And then I did the powdering on the other side with the Houkodou GC2. So this is one of my, I would say my favorite Houkodou Gold Series brush. And I was using it to powder under the eyes, but since I've washed it, it's got a little fluffy for that. So I think this is better for like all over powdering or blush. And I really do like, you know, this shape brush, and I believe it's still in stock on CD Japan. And I really do like this, and I think if you do like this shape brush, this is one of the better ones. Really high quality squirrel hair. Is going to provide a very light application of powder. But I'm going to talk about the Murageshi Sangyo Hana Sakura cheek brush. So this is a different line. This is the first one of this line that I bought, and so far I'm really impressed. This is goat and squirrel hair, but it feels more like squirrel hair. It kind of reminds me of, just looking at it, the shape, it kind of reminds me of what the Suku cheek brush might be like. I don't have it, but it has that you know, really nice slightly fan shape, and I would use it like this to pat on blush to, you know, do like specific areas. But you can also powder under the eyes, or just kind of like powder smaller areas, and I highly recommend this one. I'm looking at the powder brush, but you know, this line, or not line, but this brand is, I think, really high quality. Not like super luxurious, but also not with the like luxury price tag. So I do highly recommend this one. I've only had it for a little while, but so far I'm really enjoying it. And then I also more recently got the My Sakura powder brush. So I use this more for bronzing, because it's goat and squirrel hair, so it's going to be very gentle on the skin. It looks like maybe it has a lot of snap. It's fairly dense, but when you do, you know, your blush or bronzer, it doesn't disturb your makeup, and it's a really nice brush. It's goat and squirrel hair, but this one doesn't feel as silky as this cheek brush that I just talked about, but maybe this one's not as dense. But really solid brush, and I still think it's a great value right now. Now I'm going to talk about, this one is fairly new. I don't think I've talked about it quite yet in my channel. That's the Houkodou GF2. So this is a round ferrule powder brush, and I really like this because it's really soft, high quality gray squirrel hairs. Because the hairs are long, it's going to be so gentle on your skin. It's not going to disrupt anything, and I like this for bronzer or for powdering. And you can use it even for blush. I just think if you like these round squirrel powder brushes, I think this is a great deal still, and I've been using this a lot, and I do recommend this one. I'm not going to recommend all of this brand. I do have one that I'm like kind of so about. And then this is also the one of the newer brushes, and that's the Hakuhodo GP1. Now this is a like authentic makie, Sakura makie design, and that's not why I got it. Mainly because it's a pure gray squirrel hair. Something to note, it's pretty thin. When I saw it online, I thought it was a little bit more substantial. It's not dense. It's pretty flexible, and the hairs are long. So it's just it's a larger, you know, paddle size face brush, but I like it for powdering all over. And I've had it, you know, I've only used it a few times, so I think mainly just powdering I've used. And like finishing powder. I think I've placed finishing powder on with this, and maybe I've done bronzer, but you know, I haven't had much time with this, but it is one of those really like luxurious feeling brushes. You're getting like this really nice handle, and I believe like in the mid 80s price point right now. And I think that is, you know, right now still a fairly, you know, still fairly priced for a brush like this. So the GP1, it comes in different, it comes in like a peony style, and then they have one that's a little bit, I think a little bit wider in this type of looking brush. And I'm sure they're all really nice, but I just wanted to try one of these GP series, and so far I'm really impressed with the quality and the looks of it, and it's fairly weighty, so I really do like this one so far. Excuse me. And then I'm gonna just briefly talk about the Houkodou GC6. Now, I'm not really loving this. I use this to do finishing powder like in smaller areas, but I just can't really find a good way to use this brush, and it's the only one of the gold series that I'm like kind of like so about, and this will just go back in storage. But it is 100% gray squirrel. It is very soft. It's not that dense, but it's not super sparse. But if you do like a small little cheek brush made of gray squirrel hair, it's still, you know, reasonably priced. You can use it for blush like right here. I don't know what else I would use this for aside from powder and blush, but it's yeah, I'm not gonna like recommend this one, but you know, it's worth looking into if you're on the site. And then I'm gonna mention a couple of the eye brushes. The Houkodou GS2 made of Canadian squirrel hair. I really like this brush, highly recommend it. I've recommended it many times before. And then the Hakuhodo S5 eye brush. I'm really liking this the more I use it. It's supposed to be a dupe for the Hakuhodo GSN 9, but it's even better. I don't know if you can be able to see it, but it has more hairs. It's slightly fuller, so you can use it to pack shadows or blend. Whereas the GSN 9 is a little flat for blending. So I think it's more multifunctional, and I think price-wise it's about the same. It comes from the same maker as Hakuhodo and Hakuhodo. I happen to really like the aesthetic of this line. It's the WP series, and the more I use this, the more I like it. I would say it's maybe a smaller version of the Houkodou GS2, but I think both of these are really nice brushes for the price. And I believe this is more easily available to get on, at least on CD Japan. And then I'll talk about a couple of the smaller brushes. The Bisyodo BSL1 is made of Kolinsky. No, Weasel. I didn't put the name of that. Okay, I think this is Weasel hair, and the Houkodou one is Kolinsky. But I like the Bisyodo one much better. I think this is better at holding on to the powder, and it's better at depositing the powder. This one's okay, but I don't know, there's something about this one that just works much better than the Houkodou one. So I'm not gonna recommend the GS4. I would say the BSL1, which I think is kind of difficult to find, but if you do find it in stock, this one I would say is a great deal. And then I wanted to talk about the small Hakuhodo brush. I can't find that little Hakuhodo brush that I use to line. You know, I can't find. It's called a domed liner brush from Hakuhodo, and I believe it's Weasel hair, and I used it in the demo to line the upper lash line and do a little wing. I'm so sorry. I must have lost it while I was doing the labels, but I really do like that one, and I think it's fairly easy to find in stock. And if you are interested in that, I still think it's a good deal. And it's kind of unique because not a lot of brands make a liner brush that's that shape and made of that material. And I'm so sorry I can't find it. I did want to mention a couple of brushes that I saw on CD Japan that are available that I think are really great deals. This one is the Hakuhodo outlet brush number 277. Now when I first got this, it didn't feel very impressive, but now that I've used it a little bit and I've washed it, it's softened up quite a bit. It's not silky, it's goat hair, but it is good if you want to kind of like put a pretty strong application of blush, or if you want to do some powder contouring. I actually think this is still a good deal. I don't think it's even $20. It might be like around $19. So if you're putting an order in and you're looking to like get the free shipping, I don't think this is a bad choice. You know, it's got that very classic shape. Another one that I've noticed a lot of you guys buying is the Muragishi Sangyo My Sakura blush brush. It's a round ferrule and it's squirrel and goat hair. This one is really good for blush, powder blush, especially like a pigmented blush, a powdery formula. It just looks so nice when I use this brush. And of the different ones that I have of the My Sakura line, including the powder brush, I'm most impressed with the cheek brush. So if you are looking to try one of these, I would start with a cheek brush. And I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know if you guys see this in the future, this might not really make sense because the prices are going to be, you know, already higher as it is now. But for those of you trying to, you know, get the brushes you want before it becomes maybe unaffordable, I thought this would be helpful for you guys. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.